in your restaurants, obviously they're very high-end, fine dining. Your current restaurant, high-end, fine dining use, where the design matters, the look of the food on the plate matters, the sort of the creative side of it, what's gone into it, and all of that kind of stuff is really important. So in terms of the form and function of what goes on in the space that you use domestically, how would you prioritize like the look over the function of things? How, where do you draw your lines, and does that vary depending on what it is you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would always go, over the sort of function side of it than aesthetics. That's for sure. I mean, for Muse, we had very, very, very tight space for everything. And it always takes time to settle into a place and to get systems in place and to know where how things work best, or and everything. So I think out of the time we've been there now, 3 months, we've only just about now, I would say, settled into it properly in terms of the kitchen and the storage and the setup and everything. So I think for me, sort of functioning properly, in terms of things that are easily at hand, is always key over sort of having something that is aesthetically pleasing. Definitely, yeah.
I wondered as well, I mean, maybe, looking again at someone like Massimo's kitchen, where he's got this sort of, design classic chandelier hanging over his work surface. He's also got a lot of artwork swinging around the rest of the apartment. But, and watching a few years back, there was a documentary about some of the pastry chefs in France, where they referred to their spaces that they sort of lived and worked in as a labo. It was like definitely sort of laboratory kind of, where would you like on the sort of, continuum of your own domestic space, where would you like it? Would you like it to look sort of, particularly design literate? Would you like it to look laboratory clean? Or
I think it has to have a happy medium, because it's got to be sort of family home as well. Definitely not something that is, sort of sterile and cold, because it's got to be, it's the heart of the house. You're going to have your family in there, you're going to have your kids in there. And I don't want, something that just looks, cold. I think, the aspect of cooking in there, from, a fried egg or whatever to doing an elaborate, dinner party, it has to kind of have the function and use, for something small or for large. So I'd probably go down the line of having, sort of, I guess, a 50-50 mix, of having maybe one side that's, purely sort of professional, and the other side is, sort of more domestic. Maybe have like, because as we know, kitchens come all shapes and sizes, and pretty much, you've got a cube of some kind going on in the kitchen space, and I would probably have one side, that is all my kit on one side, and then the others is, more of the domestic stuff. And I have actually a kitchen where it's a sort of R&D sort of kitchen, and part of it is, one half of it is a sort of a fully professional sort of kitchen, and the other half is is a sort of more of a science lab kind of thing. So
is that something that sits sort of between your restaurant space and your domestic space, the R&D space, where
no, it's in a completely separate building.
No, but that's what I mean in terms of it's how you use it. It's sort of it's kind of being at home, but at home from the restaurant. It's like a
yeah, exactly. It is, yeah, definitely. And then it's, I think with spaces of a normal kitchen, I think there's always as I said, when I go into people's kitchens, and storage for everyone is always the biggest talking point, I think. In terms of flexibility, having things to hand, easy access, also the durability of of opening and closing doors all the time. Are they going to work? Are they going to function properly? And And I always, you know, out of domestic, choosing, I guess, out of, you know, domestic over professional, you know, that kind of thing, I would probably always go sort of, you know, professional if I could, because I just know in terms of, you know, the knocks that kitchens take, and you know, the aspect of what I have at Muse is we have, you know, really, I mean, tiny kitchen space. I mean, it is just, you know, it's just a joke, to look at the equipment that we have in there that is literally millimeter sandwiched in. I mean, the guys, when I said, right, you know, we've got to get this in, they're like, are you fucking joking? I mean, it's not going to happen. I said, yeah, it's just going to get in. Just going to shove it in.
Yeah.